что если станем быть такая, это значит, что его снова вспоминает. Если это на самом деле так, то прошу меня не вспоминать никак.
My name is Andi Astri Arsan. I'm from English Literature class. The synopsis story of Beauty and the Beast. Once upon a time, there was once a very rich merchant who had 6 children, 3 sons and 3 daughters. Being a man of sense, he spared no cost for their education, but gave them all kinds of masters. One of her daughters named Beauty, she lived with her father and her sister in a small village. Beauty was a beautiful girl. She was also hardworking. She always helped her father on the farm. One day, her father set out for the city. He saw an old castle and went in. No one was in, but there was a food on the table. Then he walked around the castle. He picked a rose from garden for Beauty. Suddenly, an angry beast appeared. He wanted to kill Beauty's father unless Beauty was brought to him. Beauty's father told her daughter what had happened. Beauty's sister ordered her to see the beast. Beauty went to see the beast and had to stay at the castle. She felt scared, lonely and sad. She tried to run away but was stopped by the beast. And the beast treated Beauty well. Soon, Beauty began to like the beast. I will analyze the story about Beauty and the Beast. About setting. The setting of the story, Beauty and the Beast, is presumably set somewhere in France. There are also 2 main locations mentioned in the story: the small town where Beauty lives and the Beast lives, castle. The action takes place in the mid of 1700s in a small town around France. Setting affects the story by contributing the plot, character development, mood, and theme. It also affects the story by engaging the reader and helping them visualize the events and context in which the narrative is being told. Their environment gave them feel trapped because her father stole the rose. Their educational is in middle class because Beauty's father wants to give the best education for his children. About the characterization, the main character of the story, Beauty, is Beauty that very kind to people and has a warm heart. Also, Beast is a handsome prince that cares. Beauty lived in a small village with her father. Also, Beast lived in a castle alone. Beauty has a humble heart so that she becomes a likable character. She is also very diligent than his sister and willing to do anything for the people she loved. The conflict when Beauty had to go to Best's castle to see her father being arrested and was willing to sacrifice herself to live with Best because her father was stolen rose. The writers show their characters by the way they deal with the problem. About the theme, the author's purpose of the story is they want to tell you about how their family struggles and how the Best family gets into trouble in the woods. The theme of the story is symbolized the Best dying for hope for love. If he dies before he finds his one true love, then he'll stay the Best forever. Also, it's implicit because it's not directly stated, but it's either suggested in the wording or necessary to effectuate the purpose. The moral of the Beauty and the Beast is we should value inward characteristics such as kindness over other superficial qualities such as appearance. About the general question, we analyze this story because 2 individuals, usually but not necessarily romantically involved, whereas one is perceived to be considerably more attractive than the other. We're really interesting with the story of the Beauty and the Beast because we believe that love is from hurt.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Chairil Kurniawan. I am from English Literature Class B 2020. So I will explain about the plot. First, the introduction. The Beauty is one of the children of a very prosperous merchant. She has a very good and wise father. Besides that, She also has a very cunning sister and jealous of her. She lives in a simple village with his small family. The rising action. When the beauty's father went to the trade, in the middle of a dark woods and covered by snowstorm, his cart fell, so he was injured. The atmosphere was increasingly tense when the horde of hungry wolves came over. In the midst of despair, the father saw a beam of light guiding him towards a very magnificent castle. The castle belongs to the beast, a bad prince who has cures for his pride. Next is climax. The merchant was caught by the beast for taking his rose without permission. The merchant was then about to be killed by the beast, but he begged to be forgiven for having a daughter. Hearing that, the beast let him go and asked the merchant's daughter instead. With a heavy heart, the merchant returned home with hard feelings. Following action. Hearing that bad news from her father, the beauty immediately prepared to replace her father to be killed by the beast. In the next day, when they arrived at the beast castle, instead of wanting to kill the beauty, the beast fell in love with her. Point of view. This story is packaged using a third-person point of view. The writer tells the story from a character standpoint. Next is figurative language. In the story, using some figurative language like hyperbole. A hyperbole is a figure of speech which engrades the meanings of the sentence. For example, the wicked creatures rubbed their eyes with an onion.
Hi, my name is Nurfitri Anugrah and I want to explain my analysis. First is imagery. When Beauty arrived at the Beast Palace, she was sure he was going to eat her. So she prepared herself, but the Beast didn't show any sign of such an assumption and Beauty was free to walk all around as she wishes. The image of the palace, which was a delightful, pleasant place, is to show all the greatness, and during one of her walks, Beauty found a door, over which was brought Beauty's apartment. She opened it hastily and was quite dazzled with the magnificence that reigned throughout, but what chiefly took up her attention was a large library and harpsichord and several music books. The contents of the room show that the Beast was really concerned with her comfort, and the room had everything she found dear to her heart. When Gaston doesn't deserve bells. The author was trying to show how much Belle truly loved Gaston. This is verbal irony because the audience knows that Gaston doesn't deserve her, but Belle was the one who said she doesn't deserve him. Next is symbolism. Perhaps the most iconic symbol in Beauty and the Beast is glass encased rose. A rose symbolizes love, but this particular rose is dying just like the Beast's hope for true love. Even more importantly, the rose symbolizes the fragile nature of life, and the Beast needs to reform from his precious life of vanity and excess in order to restore his kingdom. Last is tone. The tone is very mellow and emotional. The story is very romantic and dramatic, so there is a lot of emphasis on the emotion in the story, especially between Belle and the Beast. Thank you.